It's been a little while since I made a Gaelic video, so we're going to do some words of the day. Excuse the mucky background behind me. I'm going to try and put some words here. I'm just sitting next to Brochan. He is sleepy and I can't tidy because that will disturb him and I need the peace to do the video. So we're going to do some words for feelings, and I've done quite a bit of this on my Instagram, so if you don't follow me on Instagram, get on it. But these are just some words for feelings that hold a lot of weight, some of them, but they're just really, really good words. Some of them I don't think we have translations for in English, which is my first word, cianalas. Cianalas. And this is a word that I'm sure that you've seen quite often because it doesn't have that direct English translation. It's a word that Gaelic speakers do show off a little bit more than maybe other words. So cianalas is that, I describe it as a deep guttural longing. It is just that longing for a person or a place or a thing or a memory. It is just that deep in your soul want or missing. Do you know what I mean? I find it really hard to put into words, which is probably part of why Gaelic speakers hold on to it so dearly. Cianalas is just, I think we all know the feeling, but I don't know if I can put it into words. And now I'm second guessing why have I made this video and started with the hardest word, cianalas. I have cianalas for home. So the Outer Hebrides, I have cianalas for. And that is somewhere that we quite often talk about. When we talk about cianalas, we relate it to the Outer Hebrides, because people from the Outer Hebrides, no matter where you go or where you are, you have that desire or deep longing. Home is home, that we feel more deeply than the rest of you, okay? Of course I'm joking, but yeah, I'm doing a terrible job of describing this. Even when I am somewhere else, I live in Aberdeen, I'm happy in Aberdeen, but when I go home, I feel that just drag in my chest, deep in my soul. I'm so glad that I am going home. Now this can be for a period of time, it can be for a person, it can be for a place, it can be for whatever you have that feeling for. I think quite often we do feel it for people, where you just feel like your souls are connected. Am I being a bit woo? I don't know. I'm going to upload this with my real-time thoughts because I have not scripted this out. I've not overthought it, which usually I know exactly what I want to say and how I want to say it to you so that I can be as clear as possible. And sometimes I think I'm missing the heart of it. So, cianalas is that deep guttural longing in your soul, in your chest, for whatever it may be. It can be your favorite type of pudding, I don't know. So the next word that I'm going to do is solace. 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 And very much when you think of the word solace, when you think of solace, comfort, Brochan is here, so he's just woken up because of a dog. So when you think of that comfort, that solace, a little bit of emotional relief. If you have had a particularly difficult week or day and you find solace in going for a walk by the beach, there's just a little bit of emotional comfort there. And I think it's a great word to describe feelings. And I think solace in English is a word that many or most people know. You just change the spelling a little bit, but you already know how to say the word, you already know the meaning of the word. And I think it is just a great word to use in your vocabulary. Next word that we're going to do is dòchas. 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 And that means hope. I think hope is just a beautiful word. You know the meaning already. I think a lot of us carry hope within ourselves. We have hope for situations to happen, we have good hope towards other people, and it's just a beautiful word. And I really like the Gaelic word dòchas. I don't know why that carries more for me than hope. I actually have a necklace that says dòchas, and I think it's just a really lovely word to describe that feeling. I think it carries a little bit of trust and expectation. It's not all about wishful thinking, but we can have hope for ourselves, for other people, for situations, whatever it is. And I think dòchas is a really lovely word to use as a feeling. So another word, just to flip it on the other side, another word that I think is really good to describe your feelings is the word ickle. Ickle. And that is fear. So where a lot of us have hope and beautiful thoughts, it does also carry a little bit of fear. So han chickalodum, han fickalodum. We can say that I have fear, there is fear on me, and it doesn't really need to be any heavier than that, but I think it is a great word to know to describe that feeling of fear. Another word, if we were to stick on the more downside, would be nada. Nada. Or nada, depending on how you say it. And that is a sense of shame or embarrassment, which is a totally valid feeling that I think a lot of us have. I think it is the difference between feeling embarrassed and feeling deeply ashamed, which is something that I hope people don't, but I think it's a very human feeling that many of us do. Another word that I want to use, and it is a word that I've actually used in my terms of endearment video, and it is the word gràdh. 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 And it is love. But the difference with this one, so you may be familiar with the word gil, hagilach, marst, I love you. Gràdh does not need to be romantic. You can use it for anyone. You can have a love for someone, whether it's children, parents, grandparents, friends, whoever. You can have a love for them. A gràdh, it does not need to be romantic, and I think that is one of the key differences when people say, oh, hagilach marst, that usually is romantic to a partner or significant other. And gràdh can be kind of like an endearment, if you know what I mean. Another word that I think is really good, jaundren. Jaundren. Now, this is similar to cianalas, but it is also very different because this is missing. You know, ha mé jaundren stornweg. I'm missing Stornoway. I can miss something. I can miss brachen when I'm not with him. Brachen. I can miss a food, a place, a thing, a person. I can miss things, but it's not really that deep longing. But I think it is a great word to have in your vocabulary. I think it's a great word to know. I am missing. Another word to describe feelings that I think is really good would be crial. Crial. I suppose you could say kind or warm-hearted. I'm not saying that specifically about me. I was going to give an example of, you could say ha brachen crial. Brachen is kind. He is warm-hearted. Or ha it is, or ha she is, or you know, you can use it in lots of different ways. I've crossed my hands really weirdly there. You could use it in lots of different ways, but crial is a great word. Yeah, I think it's a nice one. I think it's a good word to have. Maybe if we were to go on the other side, I could say ha mi holiche. Mi holiche. So that is unhappy. I'm sure that many of you, if you've been doing Gaelic for a little while, will know the word toliche. Just depending on how you say it. I you may hear me sometimes drop some sounds because I've just saying it more naturally than perhaps they would teach you. But misneachd. So I am unhappy, which is again a totally valid feeling to have. You're not always happy and joyful, and sometimes I think, and I'm guilty of this as well, you want to show the best of Gaelic and you want to show, oh, we're having this, like everything is rosy and lovely, but sometimes it isn't. Sometimes it is not. So I think it would do it a disservice if we were just rose-tinted glasses showing the best of everything. Sometimes I am misneachd. Do two more words because I am aware of how long this video is already and I have to edit it. So I think well done if you've stuck around to watch this much of it, but trust me, I'm going to be in the trenches editing this. So another word that we have, dòchas. And this, I'll say it again, dòchas. So it is offering, again, heartfelt warmth and sincerity, and you could say like gràdh, and that is a great way to sign off an email or a letter or whatever it may be. You can say like gràdh name, and yeah, it's heartfelt, sincerity, warmth, like gràdh. I would write Lauren, you write your name, and I think it's a really nice way to finish. I should have finished on this, but I've got one more word for you. And the word that I am going to finish with that I should have done before this is misneachd. I need to swallow. Misneachd. And that is the word for courage or confidence. I think it's a really good word. It's a really good word to describe feelings. It's something that I wish I had more of, but sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I think we could all do with a little bit more, and I think it's a nice word to finish on. But now you've got me second guessing that I should have done dòchas. Anyway, please tell me below in the comments which one of these feelings you have felt lately and which one feels most useful for you, or if there's anything new that you hadn't heard before. And yeah, give me ideas for more videos because I'm an overthinker, so let's not leave it so long next time.